everyone, and welcome to the final UDL presentation. Today I will be discussing English 103 and the implementation of the UDL principles of engagement, representation, and action and expression. I will also share some student reflections and my own takeaway. Why bring UDL to English 103? Poe and Inouye identify writing as a potential tool of social justice, though historically course design for writing classes has been inherent in sustaining inequality. 103 Writing a Life is a course that directly supports Goodwin's dedication to diversity, inclusion, and the overall message of social justice. When examining a course through the lens of social justice, as well as UDL approaches and social emotional learning approaches, it's important to note that students with a wide range of skills can find greater success in courses that require both academic writing in combination with their own personal experiences. The critical event in English 103 relates to alignment issues, as there are identifiable course-level alignment gaps. Of the 5 learning outcomes outlined in the syllabus, 2 of the stated outcomes do not link to assessments or activities in the course, which can lead to student confusion, as well as creating a learning barrier to their success. The 2 learning outcomes requiring better alignment in English 103 are identify the uses of historical perspective, research, and interviews in written texts, and articulate figurative language in writing. Addressing the critical event required design adjustments, beginning with the UDL principle of engagement, specifically checkpoint 7.2, optimizing relevance, value, and authenticity. Due to the adjustments, students now have the opportunity to work using the scaffolding method and find historical perspectives, research, and interviews related to their topics. Furthering the development through representation, I made adjustments with the following checkpoints in mind: 2.5, 3.1, and 3.3. It's important to illustrate through multiple media, allow students to activate their background knowledge, and to better guide their information processing more holistically. In order to make meaningful changes, identifying any curricular components creating learning barriers was necessary. In this case, in English 103, there was a lack of resources, the majority of the assessments were written, and the assessments focused mainly on just the 3 of the 5 learning outcomes. Guided by checkpoint 2.5, there are now resources on understanding and using figurative language with written definitions and examples, YouTube cartoon videos, and graphic charts related to the videos. Expanding opportunities for deeper comprehension was the goal under 3.1 and 3.3. There are now interview and interactive research assignments related to the student memoir topics, and the students have now been provided with choice in assignment design. They can demonstrate their knowledge through writing, video, audio, or graphic organizer. Adding historical context to memoir is a relatively new skill for most students. It was important to better clarify vocabulary involved in the research process, as well as guide the research process itself, so that students could identify content in history that was relevant to their personal experiences. This sequence graphic organizer is a new tool for English 103 students that will help them create visually a sequential relationship between historical events and their personal experiences that they are examining in their final memoirs. Under the 3rd UDL principle, completing the picture required providing various methods for action and expression. In furthering alignment, I applied checkpoint 5.3, building fluencies with graduated level of support and practice, and 6.4, enhancing capacity for monitoring progress. When providing options for how students complete assignments, it's necessary for them to access varied models that show what success looks like. English 103 now has video, website, audio link, and written text, and lecture, written, and verbal directions showing methods for accessing relevant history and bringing it into memoir. In considering checkpoint 6.4 and monitoring progress as we go, the good news is English 103 already incorporated a number of existing checklists, scoring rubrics, examples of work, and opportunities for reflection. Check-in videos, announcements, and prompt questions will heighten students' awareness of self-monitoring components. Overall, furthering the use of UDL principles and design in English 103 has been positive. The emerging themes present in student feedback show that they're encouraged, enthusiastic, they have increased choice and personal power, and they've expanded their critical thinking. A recent reflection from a student really demonstrated the purpose in the type of work we're doing. He said that he had never taken a class that helped him the way this one did, in terms of his writing, in terms of finding his voice. He stated that he learned to interpret things differently, and he believes that he's going to be a better husband, father, and person in general. In closing with the takeaway, I identify 3 key points. The first being that UDL applications further a classroom culture of reciprocity. And in the spirit of Paulo Freire's pedagogy of freedom, I concur that the interdependence of student and teacher is ever present. My intention in practice is to always treat students as I would want to be treated in any situation. Key point number 2 is that as part of course design, UDL applications expand the opportunities for ensuring kindness, compassion, respect, and empowerment. The third and final key point that I'd like to share in my reflection is that UDL applications facilitate mindful and holistic approaches to education, fostering an environment where real learning moves beyond just the acquisition of facts, and recognizing that emotional health is pivotal to learning success.